Coast FM 963, you're on Raw Youth Disability Radio. And to close off a bunch of shows we've been doing throughout May, just like we did in April with Autism Acceptance Month, Stephen Wheatley thought it would be a great idea to celebrate Mental Health Month. Now, joining me in the studio right now is Stephen Wheatley and one of our other awesome Raw team members, Finn O'Brien. We're going to have a little chat together about what our mental health has been like and what it is like for other people as well. Steve Wheatley, how are you going today, my man?
I am very good, my friend. Yes, I did want to share a bit of a light on Mental Health Month here in May because, as you said, Angus, yes, it's something that we haven't really talked a lot about on the show before, and it is also something that everybody deals with in their own way.
Yeah, for sure. And it can be a bit of a taboo topic for some people. It can be difficult to talk about, and it's also famously really hard to tell at times. Like the happiest looking person may be struggling deep down with anxiety and depression. Finn O'Brien is also with us, one of our awesome Raw team members. How are you going today, sir? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to be back. It has been a while. Just been on break, and I thought it sounded like a worthwhile topic to address, particularly with COVID and everything, and what's been going on.
Yeah, I know that COVID did take a lot of strain on a lot of people's mental health.
Yeah, that's for sure. And a lot of people out there have developed anxiety and depression. I know myself, being on the autism spectrum, developed a bit more social anxiety than I normally would have had from the isolation that COVID brought. Is that something you had to deal with as well, Finn, through around the pandemic?
Definitely, likewise, particularly post-COVID and going outside. There was a bit of almost agoraphobia, not full-on agoraphobia, but what felt like kind of simulated it in a way.
For sure. And did you feel like very quickly you found yourself getting socially burnt out when you did have to go out after the pandemic kind of eased a bit?
Definitely. Going out for the shops or in crowded areas could sometimes be overwhelming, which has never been an issue prior to COVID.
For sure. And Steve, you are someone that in the time I've known you, you've always presented yourself as being a very confident sort of person, very good at what you do, and there's a lot of things you're great at and a lot of things you love doing. Have you struggled with mental health in the past?
I have, Angus, yes, and we were actually chatting before we went on air, and that's why I really wanted to have a chat to Finn and yourself today because, as we said at the start of the show, mental health can affect anybody in the smallest of ways and biggest of ways, and it can be hard to tell what someone's going through or how life's going for them at that particular moment because mental health is something that we cannot see. You and I, Finn, we were chatting before we went on air, so we actually share something in common. So you were diagnosed in the past with Tourette's, yes?
Yeah, at a very young age. I would have been about 4 or 5. Yeah, it was a lot more severe.
Yeah, so that sounds still like you were quite young when you were diagnosed with it because, yes, I've actually been diagnosed myself in the past with it. I was about probably 16 when I was diagnosed myself. So I had a lot of help, though, around me, and that's why I'm sure even like yourself, you've had a great deal of support around you too, yes?
Definitely, yeah, from family and school, various other networks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's why I've been able to, I guess to answer your question, Angus, I've been able to carry myself around as well as I do now, as you would have seen.
Yeah, for sure. Like you always have come across as a really confident, really outgoing person. So it's really interesting to hear that someone like you has struggled with mental health in the past, whether it be with anxiety, I suppose. I think everyone here at this desk, and I'm sure a lot of people listening in right now, have struggled with anxiety in the past as well. Steve, when you have those anxious moments, how do you deal with them?
One is through talking to someone, and I probably can't stress that enough. Having someone to be able to talk to has really been something great that's worked for me. I found doing a lot of the other stuff that I've done, like my sports, surrounding myself with good people, being open-minded to a lot of things and changing my way of thinking about things has definitely been a lot of the things that has really helped me. How has it been for you, Finn? What's some of the things that you've found?
Sticking to a consistent routine in general is really beneficial. Music has helped. Yeah, different forms of art or something that you can indulge in.
Yeah, and like Steve said, it's very important to have a support person or a support network that you can reach out to, whether it be friends or family, or if you don't think you can turn to them, there's also amazing organisations such as Beyond Blue and Lifeline as well. It's really awesome to have those sorts of organisations out there to help with your mental health.
And there is also a lot of great local services too, Angus.
For sure. And sometimes existing in general is exhausting, and it's okay to not be okay. And there's always somewhere there to help you guys out. And that's what May, Mental Health Month, is all about raising awareness for. Well, Steve Wheatley and Finn O'Brien, thanks so much for joining us on Raw this evening to have a little chat about mental health. Like Steve said, it's something we haven't covered too much on Raw. It can be a bit of a hard topic to cover sometimes, but I'm glad we've had this chat today, boys.
No worries.
Anytime.
Thanks for having us. Anytime.